What's up, guys? Thought I'd do a bit of a different video today. I've just completed GoldenEye, so this gives me a chance to do a video sort of in between games, because I didn't want to be halfway through a game and then upload a video that's nothing to do with the game. And yeah, it's just me being a bit OCD, I guess, just not wanting to have the game levels in order on the upload list and then have a random video in between. Probably go through all of my PS2 games, I guess, that I've got, because in the last, I don't know, 2 months or something, I've gone from having maybe a handful to however many I've got. I haven't actually counted, but so yeah, I just thought I'd do a video of that, and I can do another one of my N64 games because I've got quite a few of them. So I thought it'd be nice, something different to do. So yeah, I'll get into it quickly anyway. And I don't know how long I'll spend talking about the games, but there's quite a few, so we'll just kind of go through them because I don't want it to be like a massively long video or anything. But the one that came to hand straight away, I say straight away, I mean like, it's literally the first one I grabbed. I saw that in CEX the other day. Never played it, but it's a bit interesting. Inspector Gadget. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep grabbing games until I run out. I've heard about this before, but I've never played it. Warriors, that was £10 from CEX. Yeah, I'm not even sure what kind of game it is actually. Is it fighting game? Obviously, but I don't know in what sense it's a fighting game, like a side scroller kind of thing, or not side scroller, but you know what I mean, kind of like Dead or Alive, or that's the first thing that comes to mind, or Mortal Kombat, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know if it's quite like that. Obviously I'm looking through the lens and not looking at it, so yeah, I don't know. So there's that one. What have we got next? It's funny because I can't see the pile next to me, so whatever I grab next, I don't know what it's going to be, which is quite nice. I got this the other day, £2.50. It's funny because it sort of looks like you'd think some kind of flying simulator, I guess, but just from the brief description on the back, it sounds like it's a bit more than that, I guess. But yeah, and the disc isn't very good. Yeah, you probably, well, you might be able to see. It's not brilliant, but we'll try it. I've had some weird things happen with some games as well, like I've got Driver 3, which seems to load up and everything, and you can go on Take a Ride, which is basically sort of freestyle, like just driving around, but then as soon as you try and do the campaign, it just doesn't load it for some reason. Right, next one is a classic. Yeah, absolutely love this game. I think this is probably one of the first games I saw, or one of the first games I owned when I had a PS2. It's cool as well because a lot of these games I've bought online recently, I've got them pretty cheap, and like the condition of the boxes have been brilliant, so I need to make sure I buy from those sellers again on Amazon. And just that most of them have a lot of their booklets in them, and even the extra bits you get in booklets. Well, with the game, I mean, like, well, we'll come up with an example, I'm sure. But yeah, this is 18 wheelers. I remember having this back in the day briefly. I think it's one of those games that maybe doesn't last very long. I don't really know. I can't remember if there's many levels. That's another classic as well, isn't it? So there's that one. I don't know how long this video is going to be, because the camera shuts off at 30 minutes. So, well, if we go over 30 minutes, I'll just press re-record. Yeah, found this one online. Yeah, it's weird because I remember thinking I might get it, but back in the day, like when it came out, which was, when was it? Will it focus? No. Yes? No. 2002, I think. It probably was out for a little while after. Maybe I didn't see it when it was released, but I remember seeming to remember that I might have got it. I'm wording that really weirdly. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I can't remember if I ever played this, but I'm pretty sure I saw it being played before. So, yeah, nice. Yeah. I don't want to neither rush nor spend a lifetime talking about each game. But, yeah. I quite like, I used to get these back in the day and I quite liked them really, is Platinum games. There's just something, yeah, something quite nice about them really. They're a bit different because I think the PlayStation 1 Platinum games, I think, was the only difference really that it had a silver strip where it said PlayStation, and then the disc was probably a bit more simple like that. And Platinum, if you don't know, is it's for, I guess, when games sold really well and they're really well known and well loved, that PS2 would re-release them at a cheaper price in the Platinum range, you know, games that were classics. And they'd usually go for about 20 quid, when usually games are around 30 or 40 quid new. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was really surprised and quite pleased to have found this actually, because I can't remember if I had it. I'm going to use the phrase back in the day quite a lot. But I can't remember if I had it years ago. It apparently came out in, it says 2000, so I don't know, because what, the PS2 wasn't out in 2000, was it? And if it was, I'm not sure this was, I have no idea. I didn't think this would be one of the first games. But this is basically Rayman that's on N64. I think, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's Rayman 2, basically. It's called Rayman Revolution, but I think it's just basically Rayman 2. Remastered in a sense, well, remastered to a PlayStation 2 level, I guess. Because I did consider doing Rayman as a game, whether it was on N64 or PlayStation. Right. I remember getting this one back in the day. I didn't have it for very long, but yeah. I remember having like quite a lot of fun with it, even if it was like brief. Robot Wars. And oh yeah, some of these discs are yeah, purple. And PlayStation 1 had some had black discs. But yeah, I remember playing it for a while and liking it, and the camera is set up like it's the camera in the show, I guess. So actually I thought, even though it seems like a bit of a bugger to control it, that actually it kind of worked quite well. And I played it again briefly and I thought, if you can really build the robots up and progress through the game, like, it could be quite cool. I mean, it is quite a good game, but I think you kind of play it for a bit and then you kind of, yeah, move on. So I got this one, which unfortunately I put in the PS2 and it doesn't load it up. Or it loads it up to the start screen or something like that. I couldn't get any further because, yeah. But it's got some classic Sonic games on there. I actually kind of got it for Sonic R. So I remember playing that on Sega Saturn years and years ago. And it's not like known as a good game, but kind of wanted to play it. So next I've just found, or I've just taken out, it is Tony Hawk's 4. And I can remember the day I got this. Like, I mean, I'd had Tony Hawk's 3 and it was so big, like, in my life. But as soon as I knew Tony Hawk's 4 was coming out, I got it the day it was coming out. But I have always kept the receipt in this one. So, where is it? Oh. Don't know if it'll focus. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's only because it happens to be in here. Yeah, 23rd of November 2002. Got it from Curry's. God, I remember riding there with my mate on the weekend because we were still in school and picking it up and probably having to have saved money for, well, quite a while back in those days. Right, we've got next. Ooh, another Tony Hawk's. Some of these will be kind of in order because I've kind of put them in an order when I've stacked them, sort of thing. Yeah, another absolutely classic. I love Tony Hawk's Underground. I remember my mum got it for me for Christmas, but she's one of those mums where she'll just be like, yeah, you can play it, like, you know, before Christmas, basically. And I think what I actually did was, I loved it so much that she let me play it for a bit, and then she was going to take it and wrap it up, and then I could have it on Christmas. But what I did is I put the Tony Hawk's 4 disc in there, and I just kept going. So on Christmas, I basically opened Tony Hawk's 4. Ooh, yeah, Red Faction, which is, yeah, 50p, not bad. I remember this being quite fun. I played Red Faction 1, really like that, and this was, yeah, it was really good. I liked the destructive elements of both games and the third one on Xbox. Even though it was third person, and I thought, I'm not sure I'd like the third person part of it, but the destructive element in Red Faction games are brilliant. So I did like the first two. Oh, and look at that. Yeah. 50p. Yeah. Yeah. It was quite open worldy feeling, I seem to remember. Or it probably kind of was, in a sense. Just like large levels, I suppose. It felt really big, I suppose, because it was just destructive, so you could make like lots of tunnels and things. So, what we got next? Time Splitters. So, I haven't played a huge amount of the, well, this one, the original Time Splitters. It seems quite different to the second, and I actually haven't played the third, so I think the third is more like, well, the second and third are more similar to each other, whereas I think the first one's a little bit more arcadey. Oh, look. Yeah. It's quite cool as well, like, sometimes you want to take the labels off, but sometimes it's just nice, because, I mean, look, at one point, that looks like a game sticker, 1497, that's been left on, and then it's obviously been to CEX, at some point. Well, no, it's got it's here down there as well, £4 there, so yeah, paid £4 for that. Another classic. One that it's hard to explain. That would get solid for me. It's one of those games where I do really like it. Well, it's maybe that I try to really like it. I really want to like it. Maybe. But saying that, I have played through. I've played through Snake Eater more than I've played through this one. Actually, I remember I played through this one up until the point where you're fighting the what they call the Metal Gear. With you got a rocket launcher, and I kept just dying on that bit, and I think maybe you have to backtrack a lot. Like if you die, you basically have to do like a whole level again to get to that point and that kind of thing. And then Snake Eater, I think I got lost in a bit where you were having to disguise as someone else, and yeah, don't know why. Right, next one is Dave Mirror. I remember getting this again years ago, like when I went to Blackpool one year, and we were in a bed and breakfast, and I remember setting up the PS2 on the TV they had in the room, and bought this, or got bought it, sort of thing, and playing that. It's quite nice, it's quite cool. So it's basically the same as, well, to me anyway, it's the same as BMX Triple X, which is coming up, I'm sure. I think that's next, maybe. But I think it's more or less the same mechanics. I'm not sure if it's the same people do it. Claim. Well, I'm not sure. What's next? Medal of Honor. Vanguard. This is obviously just a different case, I imagine. Yeah, it's obviously just a red case. Looks kind of cool, to be fair. I know it's a good idea with some horror games to put them in red cases. Apparently, it looks quite good. Like a Resident Evil game would look quite cool in a red case, wouldn't it? Never played Vanguard. I think that was, I can't remember what order it was that they came out. I think it was for PS2 anyway. It was Frontline, then Rising Sun, and then it was this, then the European Assault. Either that or it was European Assault and then this, I think. But I'd never played European Assault or Vanguard before. Actually, oh, there we go. Yeah, I had played a little bit of this, but only like the first mission, I think, and I found it was like, it just felt quite different, I guess, to the last two, which would have been Rising Sun and Frontline. So, and I just don't have as much nostalgia for it. Rising Sun and Frontline, I really do. I played them a lot, but not so much those two games. Ah, how much was this? 50p. Nice. Obviously, it depends what the game meant to you, to be fair. But yeah, for me, like getting it for 50p is like awesome. Medal of Honor. So I'll probably do a playthrough of well, this and or Frontline or both at some point. To get that for 50p, amazing. I remember my mate pre-ordered it, which seemed really like crazy back in the day. To think, wow, you can pre-order something, and he was having it delivered. And yeah, we were just waiting for the postman to come, and obviously saw him walking around the street, and I remember he took me out with him and just running up to the postman and basically asked for the post rather than have to wait for him to get to the door, kind of thing. But yeah, so we went and got it off him. To be fair, he just gave it to him as if like we could have, yeah, I don't know. But Desert Storm. I remember this was on a PS2 demo disc that I had, and I remember really wanting it back in the day, like playing it and thinking, yeah, this is a game I really think I'll want. And so I was really excited to get it again. I did play it, and I thought, like, I knew playing like a lot of, well, PS2 games in general, but certainly early PS2 games, you are like, oh yeah, they are a bit clunky, but God, Desert Storm was a bit like, wow, like this is really hard to control. It was doing a weird thing, like when I tested it out, of you're running around and you're trying to aim your gun, and it would have been ideal if like where you aimed it kind of stayed, but it kept kind of trying to go back to the center. I can't really explain it very well, so I'm not sure. I'd love to do a video on it, but having played it briefly, I thought, I don't know, it'll be a bit more of a challenge. Yeah, this one apparently is really good. I think I had Mercenaries 2, because it looks about right. Yeah, I think Mercenaries 2, isn't it basically that guy, but like he's really close up, like blonde hair, like what am I trying to say? It's not stuck up, but yeah, just going around blowing up stuff. Kind of similar-ish to Just Cause, possibly. I'm not too sure. What have we got next? Ah, yeah, Street Fighter 4. I did kind of buy this slightly thinking it was what turns out to be Street Fighter 2, because that was on Sega Saturn, so I kind of thought it was that game, but it's not. But it's basically the same game, to be honest, just updated. It's got a nice booklet as well. It's like actual paper. I know it doesn't make sense, all the booklets are paper, but it's got like a nice, I don't know if you can make it out, I don't know, nice texture. Ah, right, Mafia. Yeah, this is awesome, because when they bought out the Mafia remake. I think it was sort of half remake, half remastered by the looks of it. When they bought that out, I got that, having never played the Mafia games before. No, actually, I'd lie. I had played the second and third, actually. I had them on Xbox 360. and I remember enjoying them. So I thought, yeah, like it would be brilliant, like a remaster or remake on Xbox One. And like loved the first one, like absolutely. I definitely want to make a video on the Mafia remake, the first Mafia remake, because the second one was a bit more like, well, like a remaster. The first one was like a remake, the second one was like a remaster, I feel. And the third one I felt was kind of more like they were just kind of chucking a game in, and probably with all the DLC, because I don't think Mafia, well, not that it couldn't have been updated in any way, but it obviously wasn't as far back as the other two games. But basically, when I was looking for PS2 games, like this came up, and like I just realised, like, oh shit, like, yeah, this was on PS2, wasn't it? Like, because I thought it was a PC game when I'd looked at footage, because when I was playing the remaster or remake, I decided, oh, I'll go online and YouTube and have a look at the footage of it originally, and it said it was on PC, so I assumed it was just on PC. But yeah, I remember my mate having this back in the day and just saying like, oh, I didn't really think much of it, it's a bit rubbish, and I never played it or anything. But yeah, it just blew my mind, because obviously me wanting to do like a few older games and PS2 games, and wanting to do that Mafia game, and just realising like, holy hell, like, because I'm not sure I ever would have necessarily have thought of trying to play the original on PC. So the fact that it is on PS2, and I did play it briefly, I thought it would be doable. It's like, you know, the controls are fine, all that, from what I played briefly. This one's a bit battered, but yeah. This was a classic as well. I think I originally had this on GameCube. Yeah, the case is a bit battered, but that's yeah, it's a really good game. They did a remaster of this, apparently it was not very good. So yeah, it was just a cool way of doing a first-person shooter. Oh yeah, I remember really liking this one. Not sure why necessarily. I don't think it was like a standout game. I just remember enjoying that. Superman. It being sort of feeling slightly open worldish, I suppose. That kind of thing. Or, oh, you know, big levels. Wow, we're probably maybe about halfway through. Wow, I didn't realise how many we were. Yeah, I remember having this briefly. I completed it and everything. I remember it being possibly frustrating in parts, but a really good game, I think. Well, yeah, no, I do remember it being quite a good game from memory, which isn't saying much because my memory's terrible. Yeah. I mean, some of these games I try to sort of test out rather than jump in and start a series of a series on that game, to kind of go back and just play it briefly and then decide, like, yeah, is this something I could do a video on? Maybe. This game I've never played, which I think was I think people quite liked it. Right, Simpsons Road Rage. Yeah, I've never played that, and I'm not sure. I thought it was a racing game, but by the sounds of it, from the description and all that kind of thing, it sounds more like it's kind of a Crazy Taxi kind of game. And obviously you've got Simpsons Hit and Run, so maybe this got a bit forgotten. I'm assuming that came out before Simpsons Hit and Run. I can't imagine that came out after. Right, another, well, technically, or actually, another Bond game. Never really played this. I've now played a little bit of it so far. I sort of dipped in and just had a little go on the first level. Seems quite cool. You can dual wield sort of different weapons and mix and match, and it's a different take on Bond, I think. I'm still not 100% on the story, to be honest. You know, is it, are you Bond turned bad, or are you a different agent? I can't remember. Although, no, saying that, I remember the first scene, you're in a plane, and then, yeah, and then you're looking at Bond, basically, so you're obviously not Bond. Anyway, oh, Drive 3. So yeah, thought I might do a video series on these, on this even. I mean, thinking about it, like, I don't know, even doing this daily, like even filming videos daily, or at least the way I'm doing it, it would take quite a while to get through like a whole bunch of games, to be honest. But like I say, I think it's the way I record. Like, I literally have to set up a mic stand, the mic, plug the capture card in. Yeah, there's just lots of things. On my PC I've got to set that up and get that recording. So, but if you stream, like, it could be a lot easier because you could have a permanent mic at your desk, sit down, and you're pretty much ready to go, like, straight away. Because I have to do a lot of setting up and then a lot of editing as well. Whereas I guess if you stream as well, you just record and then stop recording and then it's kind of there. Not that I know all about streaming. But yeah, Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. I remember playing this, not a huge amount, but like when I did, I really remember enjoying it. And I believe it's quite a good 2-player game. No, that just says 1 player, isn't it? Yeah. I was sure this was almost like a 4-player game. Like you could have loads of people on the same screen. Ah, now. What a classic. What have we got here? Ah, I love this. I remember getting this when I went to London one year. Or just, not 1 year. I'm in England, so just when I went to London. Getting this from, was it Harrods? I think I got it from Harrods. This isn't my original game, because these are one of these games where this and Frontline and probably a few others now, one that I've, over the years, I've bought and then sold it and then bought it again, sold it, bought it, sold it. So maybe this copy I will actually keep. And for all I know, maybe this was my copy that I had back in those days. I mean, the chances of that are nil. But yeah, that was things like this I was talking about, you know, when they've still got things like, I can't even get it out. They've got things like, you know, stuff that you would never really keep, I guess, or worry about, but it's just nice that it's there. The booklet. Goes back to pain. So that's, ow, that's pile 1. Sorry, I just hit my head on the table. That's pile 1. Maybe I might just take a few games out at a time. So I have to reach over a bit further now. So right, Devil May Cry. Is this actually? Oh yeah, it is. I was wondering if this was in a real PS2 case, because this feels really like silky. This almost feels like it's not long been out of sort of its cellophane. I'm not claiming it's new, I know it's not, but it just, yeah, the case is really nice condition. Disc is really nice condition. And yeah, I've got memories of playing this game as well. Seem to remember buying this and the Darkness's first album and listening to the Darkness and playing this. And I can't remember how far through this game I got, but I don't think it was a huge amount. That doesn't make sense. I don't think I got very far, necessarily. It's quite a hard game, even on easy. Spy Hunter, kind of on the Bond theme still. Yeah, 50p again. I think this was one of the first games I remember seeing on PlayStation 2. Seemed like quite a cool game. I can't remember a huge amount, but it was kind of just like, in a sense, the car levels in James Bond, sort of, or, you know, a spy type thing. I remember playing this a little bit on PC, I think. It seemed quite cool. I didn't even realise it was on PlayStation 2, so that might be quite a cool game. And third person is quite cool. So the change from first person sometimes. So yeah, I don't remember how far I got, but I do remember playing it on PC, and I don't think the PC version is that different. And I got these at the same time, I think, and it's quite cool. I remember playing this as well, just because they're kind of similar, really. Prisoner of War. And that's 50p, like, wow. That was quite cool. I think I wouldn't mind giving that a go again. You had to follow, well, you were in a camp, and you had to follow, you know, routines and stuff, and make roll call, and you'd sneak around at night and do missions for different people, and then you'd move on and be in different environments. It's kind of a stealth game, really, which is quite cool. This one here, which I had on GameCube, I remember, and I remember the point, up to the point where I got stuck. It was when you're in a room with, what's his name, the Ice Man guy. So it's weird how I seem to remember the exact point where I was like, I don't know how to get any further. And it was that long ago that I didn't really have the internet. Well, the internet would have been there, but I don't know, it's not enough to, you know, have it to hand and just be like, how do I do this, or watch a YouTube video. And I played it briefly for a bit, and yeah, it was a little bit hard to control. I don't know if it was a bit too reactive. Yeah, I got this recently. I didn't realise this existed. Yeah, I just fancied playing like a quiz game, you know. Sometimes you want to play a game, but you don't want to have to interact too much. That's why maybe turn-based games sometimes people like playing, because you can keep playing and then it doesn't matter if you leave it, you know, for however long, and then you can just keep playing. So this was quite fun, you know, just trying to answer the questions. I imagine it being quite fun for having people around for drinks or something. Jack and Daxter, that was another one that I had on the PS2 demo disc, so I got to play like the first level or so, and that always seemed quite cool. But yeah, and that's all I've ever played really, is just played the demo. Never played the second one, well, the rest of that game, or the second or third game. Right, what we got next? Splinter Cell. And what was interesting was I realised, like, I didn't realise PlayStation 2 cases came in like jet black, but clearly they do. Or unless this one's fake, like not fake, but you know, like it's not official kind of thing. Yeah. Whereas, yeah, I always thought they were. Got an example, probably won't be able to tell. I guess it's just the earlier ones really that are actually jet black, and then I don't have another example actually. This really isn't a big deal, and you probably won't be able to tell on camera. Oh, maybe, yeah, like maybe originally it was jet black, and then it went to this sort of very dark navy blue, and then eventually went on to the sort of bright blue. Oh, where were we? Oh yeah, Splinter Cell. Yeah, so this was like a great game. Really love Splinter Cell. I didn't play them all, but like I remember liking this one, and I played like Pandora Tomorrow. That was really good, and they're just really good series, really nice. If you like your sort of stealth and your stealthy approach, that was awesome. I think I just got memories of when that first came out as well. First seeing it, it was my mate's dad got an Xbox, and we were like blown away, like just thinking, wow, this is the future of gaming. Not a platinum, and 50p. This is a classic as well. I've had many like fun times on this. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, great game. I remember doing the endurance races with my brother, which could take like 2 hours, so we would like take turns. And yeah, it's just a really well done game. I mean, obviously it's Gran Turismo, and I never played the ones on the PlayStation 1 really, because I never had a PlayStation 1. I probably played them at some point. Never platinum. It was a really good game. I remember having this back in the day. I remember really enjoying that. It was a good, pretty good Crash installment, I would say. I don't know what the general opinion of it is, but I thought it was pretty good. Not bad, you know. And I think when we got this, we hadn't long had our PS2, so we had Gran Turismo 3, Agent Under Fire, and I think maybe we were looking for a game and we got this, and we were really pleased with it. And having not had a PS1, we loved having a Crash game, I guess. So you join the family. Yeah, I got this. Maybe not when it came out, but I had it around that time when this came out, and yeah, it was not bad. I know 2 and 3 would be considered better, and then, you know, the ones they've got these days are like perfect, really. But then some of the ones on PS1 are praised quite well, I think, aren't they? I don't think. But yeah, that was not a bad, a pretty good game actually for a movie game as well. It was really not bad. Well, this very well might be the game I'm doing next, possibly, because I did play it briefly, and I just thought, yes, quite liking doing these stunts and kind of just playing a game that has a bit more, yeah, you know, maybe I'm just in the mood for doing a bit more driving. And I played it briefly, and it seemed pretty good actually. Like, the controls are really good for drifting around corners and things. Like, you feel quite confident that you know where the car is. You can control it quite well, so that's quite well done. Doesn't feel clunky particularly. Right. This I got recently. Never played it. Haven't played it yet, but I have always had a slight interest in these kind of games with Star Wars, because I'm not actually a huge Star Wars fan particularly. I've played some of their games and some of them are really good. I haven't played a huge amount of them, and these are the kind of games that I've played the most of when it comes to Star Wars. Not first person, not third person, not tactical games. It's mainly the flying ones like Rogue Squadron on N64. So I thought I'd get this, even though it doesn't give you much on the back in the way of gameplay by the looks of it. Not direct kind of gameplay anyway, from the, you know, looking from behind the ship and that kind of thing. I don't know if you can see it, but there is, yeah, there you are. Bloody, why are you flying around? It's been annoying me for ages. Twisted Metal Black, yes. I got this partly because I forgot about it, and it just came up on when I was looking on Amazon. And I have played it briefly, and yeah, it was quite hard to control actually, a lot more so than I seem to remember. I went into it thinking, like, I remember this being like, you know, the controls being really solid, and they're not bad as such, but they're really, really reactive. So you end up flying past the opponent that you're trying to like shoot, if you get me, and you just end up miles apart. It's really weird. BMX Triple X. Did have this back in the day. And did I put the cheat in almost instantly after getting it to unlock all the videos of the strippers? Maybe. Yeah. But that was quite a fun game. That was this Acclaim? Yeah, it was. Yeah, so that's why it seems so similar to what's it called? Dave Mirror. But yeah, that was quite cool. It was kind of felt very Tony Hawksy as well, with the story to it and stuff. Shell Shock, I remember playing this. I remember really liking it, I think. I can't remember much of it, particularly. But I do remember liking it. I think I had it on PS2. I might have had it on 360. If it was on 360, it probably wasn't. I'm probably wrong. So it probably was PS2, and I remember liking it. So, okay, we've got about half, well, probably more than half of a pile left. So I got Quake, Quake 2, and is this online? I don't know. I started to think, is this one of those games where it is actually just online? I don't know. Even though I could literally just read that there. Compete in 6 different game types, including deathmatch. Yeah, see, so it's instantly thinking, unless it's multiplayer. Well, it says 1 or 2 players, so don't know. But maybe check that out. Another classic. Lovely. I thought maybe, you know, could I play through one of these older Grand Theft Auto games? I don't know. Would I do a video for every mission? Because that would end up being a fair few videos, I guess. And probably only the main missions. I'm not talking lots of side missions and collect all packages and all that. Max Payne 2, which was only £1. I've never played this. As much as I loved Max Payne 1, I've never played this. I think it's because you half play as the woman, which I don't mind, but I just thought I'd rather just play as Max. And somehow when they start splitting it and you play as two characters, it doesn't always work. But yeah, it looks sort of like the mechanics aren't that much different to the first, so that would definitely be worth giving a try, potentially. Constantine I bought it for a £5, and I haven't even seen the film. I don't know what it's about. I just thought, it's kind of nice to see a bit of horror. I'm not even into my horror particularly, but when I do see or play some horror games, I think, oh, this is quite nice. It's a different way of playing, just like it's a different way of watching. You know, like if you either want to be entertained, like, you know, stuff make you laugh or be interested by, etc., etc. Sometimes you want to be a bit frightened. Yeah, Platinum. This definitely deserves it. Is Hitman 2, like, brilliant game. I remember this being like, yeah, this lasted a long time, to be fair, because you could just take so long on each level to think how you're going to approach it, or even just trying to complete it. And then I seem to remember there being quite a lot of levels, to be fair. You just kept thinking, oh, I'm sure this game's going to come to an end now, and then, like, there's loads more levels. I seem to remember. I remember that. I remember that a little bit. Yeah, I remember having this one. I was going to say on GameCube, but I think I did have it on PlayStation 2. And I do remember playing it, not hugely. Maybe I got stuck, maybe I got bored, I don't know. But yeah, playing that. And I played the first level or two of it recently, and I thought it was quite cool. I thought it might be worth giving a try. Because it does definitely seem to be... I'm just into these flying games, I guess, for Star Wars. It just seems to be the way it's gone over all the other games that have come out for it over the years. So, what's next? Right, I don't know how far we are in now. Getting on for an hour here. Crazy Taxi. £4. Platinum. That was a fun game. It's the kind of game you kind of just put on and you enjoy for, I don't know, half hour, an hour. You might enjoy playing it for hours and hours, and if you've got mates around, you know, see how far you can all get. Time Splitters 3, which I've never played, but is I've heard great things about it, and it looks really good. I can't wait to play it, actually. I'll give it a try sometime. And I was thinking Time Splitters 2 could be my next game as well, possibly, because even though it's first person, it does have that nice element of changing, you know, the kind of weapons you use and then the time that you're in is cool. Ah, look at this. Agent Under Fire. First game we started on this channel. Awesome. It's all there. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, great game. I mean, I love that. Well, we got the channel started, really. That's what I love. But I just love the game and the memories I have for it. And yeah, I just love Bond, and yeah, absolutely ace. Nightfire, which I've mentioned I might do next. I know I've said about 10 games that I'll do next, but yeah, Nightfire. It's in really good condition as well. Like, really nice. And all the extra bits and stuff. What's that? I don't know what this bit in the back is. Oh, it's just showing some of the other EA games. Yeah. So yeah, brilliant game. Really like that. Although I do remember buying it, and then I think I completed it. Thought, yeah, really good game, but I'm kind of done now. And then took it back to game and only got 19 quid for it, having paid 42 quid for it. So got less than half for it back. Right. Everything or nothing. Brilliant. And quite a long Bond game, I think. I think there's quite a lot of levels to this. And it's third person, so it's a bit different. And remember that being really good and lasting long time, and having it just been really good. I mean, Pierce Brosnan actually voices it, I think, and it actually looks like him and in the game, and it looks really good. From Russia with Love, which I've never really played. I've sort of tried out the first a little bit, and then never got any further than that. I always thought it's almost a little bit of an odd choice to go to make a game on, I guess. I don't know the Bond films inside out, but yeah, I thought it's an odd film choice, but I think it's a really good game by all accounts. And Sean Connery actually voices it as well. So it's basically everything or nothing, but it's From Russia with Love, to my understanding. Right, where are we? There's a little pile I've got down the bottom here, and then there's a few more I need to show you. Actually, yeah, there's a few more. We'll get through this a little bit quicker now. Solace, which I didn't even realise existed on PS2 till years later. And it's actually a different game, because often I used to think, like when you see a game on PS2 and then Xbox 360, for example, and that kind of thing, that it's going to be the same game. It just might not be as good a quality, but it's actually like just done differently. It's a different game, so that'll be interesting to give a try. And I have played it briefly, and it seems alright. It's sort of a third-person PS2 Bond, but it's actually different to the one on 360 which I'd played, which I quite liked as well. It's another Bond game then, isn't it? Nice. Out of the same film, really. Hold on, I'm literally getting lost in this pile. No One Lives Forever. I remember playing that and really enjoying it. It's kind of like you're a female spy, and it's kind of Austin Powers-esque. Partly because it's just set in sort of that time era, I suppose, where it'd be 60s, 70s kind of thing. It was quite cool, just the little touches they had on it. Not like I remember it in huge detail, but I do remember enjoying it. I seem to remember playing it on PC more than on PlayStation 2. So I can't remember what I actually played it on originally. I remember playing this and really liking it. I don't know, it might be a bit different playing it now, perhaps. Maybe I wouldn't be so like, oh wow, this is amazing. But I remember really liking this game, and just thought it had a lot of variety, and you really wanted to, like, you know, you would play a bit and then finish and go off do something else, and you'd really look forward to coming back and progressing the story. It's quite cool. Made it look old. Or old. Yeah. That's cool. And I didn't realise there's another one on PS2. I thought it was just this one. And there's one on N64. A Indiana Jones game. Monkey Island, which is a classic series. I've played the one that came out only like a month or two ago now. And that was awesome. It was really good. And this was cool. I remember playing this and really liking it. And getting stuck. Like so stuck that it was one of those where you stop playing it basically because you get so stuck. And I remember probably selling it, buying it again, and then getting to the same point, and then getting stuck on the same point. Gun. I had this on 360, I think, and like really liked it. Like awesome. I mean, these days this is like, you know, compared to Red Dead Redemption, I guess you would probably say like, oh my god. But I remember really loving this game. It was really good. And I never really played Red Dead Redemption 1, and I hate to say, but I'd never really played Red Dead Redemption 2 that much. But Gun, I just remember loving it, like awesome. I think if you have an open world game where you don't have cars or something fast, I tend to not. I get a bit overwhelmed, like by not being able to get somewhere fast. I know you get fast travel and all that, but somehow the world seems too big to just have like a horse to get around and that kind of thing. I found this. I thought it would be related to, I might as well bring it up now, Army Men. I thought it would be related to that because it looks like the equivalent of, that is a game about the bad side of the Army Men kind of thing. It's because he's blue, not green, maybe, but I don't think it's related. I gave this a brief go. I can't remember anything about it now, to be honest. But yeah, there's that. Seemed alright. Had this back in the day. I quite like this. This was quite a good console version of a, what kind of game do you call this again? Tactical, I guess. Kind of like Command and Conquer, but for console. An army man. It was really quite fun. It had a good story, I think. Actually, I'm not sure the story was... I can't remember. Maybe it was brilliant, maybe it was just meh. Okay, so... annoyingly, I've got a few more PS2 games here, which are sandwiched between the Xbox 360 and Xbox One games. You're probably going to hear some games fall down there. Oh dear. No, right. I'll save that one. Yeah, I've got this one lately. Because I imagine it's probably... who's it made by? Acclaim? Ah, so that'll probably be... Well, yeah, it'll be more or less like a Dave Mirror / BMX XXX, but with blading style, I reckon, and type of game. I mean, I never bladed back in the day, or I didn't really BMX, I skated. But that would be really cool, because any game like Tony Hawk's is usually pretty fun. The thing, which I remember getting quite far in, I believe, and again, probably just got stuck, and that was it. Because that's the thing with some older games, is you could, especially if you could save it on the spot. I literally had a time with Red Faction where I saved the game as someone was shooting a rocket at me, and I had fairly low health, so as soon as you load the game you died, and then all you could do was reload the game, so you had to watch it a bit. King Kong, I don't know why I bought this, to be honest. I did have this on 360. I did quite enjoy it, really, for a movie game. I thought it was alright. It was an easy way to get 1000G. But, well, I don't know why I say that then. Like, I thought it was alright, yeah. But I thought I'd get it on PS2 just because it seemed alright on 360 and I could do just a run through of it, really. It's quite a short game, I guess. Hobbit, which I never really played, but I did see a bit of it being played, and I love Lord of the Rings, so it'd be interesting how they how they tell the story, I guess, in this game. I don't know if I'll necessarily do videos on it, but I should definitely give it a go and play it, whether or not I'll do videos on it. I keep checking the disc on the camera. I only meant to show you that plain one because it was so scratched. Right, that's the whole pile, and I'm only going to do my PS2 games for now. I'm not going to do 360. Well, I don't have a huge 360 collection, to be honest. Anyway, an Xbox One, I've only got about 6 on disc, but I could do one for my N64 games, even though they're all they don't have boxes. I've got 2 N64 games that have their boxes and manuals and stuff, but the rest are just cartridges, so don't know. Maybe I'll do a video for it. I got this, never played it, but apparently it's quite a good game. I don't know if this is the game where there's a notorious glitch. I think it is. Apparently if you save it at a certain point you get kind of locked out of the bit you're supposed to progress into, and because you can backtrack, you can walk basically to the start of the game again. You can spend, the rest of the time going around the game trying to figure out what's going on, when apparently if you saved in that one space it would lock the door that you actually would just walk through, usually, to progress. So, but anyway, like that always looked like quite a good game when I've seen clips of it. Here's another game I had on a demo, on the same demo disc as the Desert Storm, and what was the other game I said I had on a demo? I can't remember now. But Desert Storm. Oh, and Jak and Daxter is Airblade, and I'm not sure. Even back in the day, I think I played it and thought this isn't quite the same as Tony Hawk's, but thinking like, oh, this might be quite cool though. And actually saying that, I probably would have seen this before I saw Tony Hawk's, because I never had much experience with Tony Hawk's 1 or 2. I don't remember particularly ever seeing it being played, or mates wanted to play it so much that I never got to go, I guess. maybe. So yeah, that might be cool to play. Give it a go. I had this back, I believe it's this one anyway, I had this back in the day and remember really loving it, and it went on forever. But you felt like, wow, like this game will never be completed, like I seem to remember. It just, I suppose with a rally game you could do it like that, you could have it, so it just went on for pretty much forever. But like it being a really good game as well, like reacting really well, kind of like I say with Stuntman, like for a PS2, like the controls on, well, Stuntman at least I'm talking about, but I think the same for this, if this is the same one, WRC2, I'm sure it was this one, is that, what am I trying to say, yeah, the car controls are just really solid, and things like drifting and just having a good feel for the car, like, was really good. Right, we're going to end on these two, which I bought recently, never knew existed, and I'm going to look now, because I haven't actually up until now. Just wondering how, oh, okay, I think, by the looks of it, there's 6 years between them. But it is Wacky Racers. Never really watched the show. Makes sense that they would make racing games for them, for this. Didn't know there was 2 of them on PS2, and I love racing games, so I thought, you know, I've not seen any reviews or anything. This one's sealed, but not actually sealed. It came to me in this kind of, yeah, it looks sealed, but it's not actually, like, it's not brand new. So yeah, yeah, thought they might be quite cool. Oh, can't remember that one. I forgot to show you some of the booklets as well. I think of some of them. I'm not going to go back through and start showing you all the booklets, and I think I did show you. So yeah, that's all my PS2 games. This video is longer than I thought it was going to be. I'll just to end the video, I'm going to destroy my PS2 games. I don't actually mean that. That was a mistake. I didn't mean to. But just stick them all everywhere to end the video. Actually, thinking about it, I just realised this will make a brilliant thumbnail. So awesome. Just keep going a bit. Put it out to the sides there. You see, yeah. Just, yep. And then it'll make a good thumbnail. Probably put some of these facing forward. And stuff. I'm going on a bit. Right, that'll do. There. That'll do. Right, cheers guys. I'll see you in the next game, whatever that happens to be.